Hey, how's everybody doing today? Got the games going on right now. Let's see what the scores are right now. Got a special guest here,
Hi.
LJ Bachman, state champion wrestler from PA.
Can you put me on?
Yep, and Greggy Bachman. We're back out here in the backyard, ready to talk about the show. Look at these scores right now. I'm absolutely stunned. Roma is up 1-0 right now.
To West Ham United.
West Ham United is losing 1-0.
1-0.
1-0. Rangers down. Rangers are up 2-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
I can't even believe that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting today to see these second half scores.
Yeah.
All right. LJ, you got wrestling.
Yeah.
Greggy, you got soccer.
But my coach isn't here yet.
All right.
And I got
Go back over there.
And I got my shoes on.
All right, good. All right. So, like, subscribe, ring the bell. So every day you'll be able to watch the shows on Max Wagers Network. Greggy and LJ will be tuning in later. Here's the shows we got for you. Be sure to follow all the Max Wagers Network all day. Midday Money with Sean Higgs. Ali Burns. Morning Wood. I'll be on with Ali Burns on Thursday, I believe, next week at 1 o'clock or 1:30. So make sure you tune in. Just Parlays with Chris King from 2 to 3. Back to the Window with Scott and Scott, 3 to 4. 4 o'clock, it's me. There's Coach Josh. 5 o'clock, Game Time Decisions. Remember, we already had a show today with we did a Formula One show previewing there's Coach Josh over here. So we're gonna have we're gonna got the wrestling room back there, so they're gonna go back there and start wrestling.
Let's go.
And remember to listen in Friday nights at midnight.
Yeah.
98.7 FM ESPN New York. I'll be on that TuneIn Radio wherever you are in the world, so you can listen into that. First time Caesars Sportsbook promotion, $1,100. First bet insurance. Place a first time wager of up to $1,100. Get it back in the form of a free bet. If you lose, you must use our promo code ATS wins CZR. It's like Myron checking in. That's my friends, Lance and Emily's kids, right there, Myron. But I'm over at their house. I do some tutoring and stuff, so I'll be tutoring them later. So you got that, and then 6 hours of show. This is, but I just want to kind of recap yesterday. I'm absolutely stunned by these games right now. I mean, Rangers scored twice in 6 minutes. But after yesterday, and after Marseille 0-0 with Feyenoord, that's the other game. After yesterday, I don't even know how you could be stunned watching that. That was unbelievable. We talked on Tuesday about, I liked City in the game plus 106. Take City plus money, and if you cash that out in the 89th minute, you did pretty well. And I think I said take a chance maybe on Real Madrid at plus 500 to win the tie. So if you cash the one out and you did that, you won a little bit of money. I have City. I had City to win the Champions League, but I have a more expensive ticket on Real Madrid to win the Champions League right now. If they win, I'm going to win a little bit of money here. So I have to try to figure out if I'm going to hedge like I did with North Carolina in the final against Kansas, or just take a chance and just think that it's their year. It's they've been out of this tournament 5 different times. Right now in the year when they're fighting over this, oil in Eastern Europe, you got Real Madrid knocking out 3 oil clubs, which is pretty interesting. Although I guess Chelsea isn't anymore now that the Dodgers guy owns it. We're going to keep taking a look at these games. West Ham is done. Aaron Cresswell, red card in the 19th minute. That's absolutely killed any chance that West Ham is going to go through there. It's a little bit of a problem with soccer sometimes. You can't legislate for red cards, and it's going to be Eintracht Frankfurt as one of the teams in the final. Bill, I think you got to take a chance here, and Leipzig is going to obviously throw some players forward. Be interesting to see who they pull off. Just trying to look at their roster and see if they're going to pull off somebody and throw another striker on. They set up a little bit defensively here, and you see, if Rangers with a 5-3-2 and with the 2 goals, Tavernier scored right back, and Glenn Kamara the left wing. So I think you got to take a chance, maybe, Bill. I think next goal was huge. Obviously, I would expect them to come back in this tie and get a goal. Obviously, live betting now becomes interesting in these games. West Ham is done. They're down 2 goals and down a man in Frankfurt. They got no chance. So that game is dead. I wouldn't touch that game. Roma Leicester is 1-0. Take a look at this lineup here. Leicester's already made change at halftime. They got Daniel Marty on for Lookman and Kelechi Iheanacho on for Harvey Barnes, and then Vardy up top. But 1 goal sends it to extra time, so that game is still in the balance. The Marseille-Feyenoord game is obviously very interesting. When you look at this, Marseille has got, Payet is already out. He had to go off, and Milik came on in the 33rd minute. So big loss there for them. Just it's a very, when you have to, you don't really have this in baseball or basketball. Obviously people get thrown out of games, but when you get a player thrown out, you don't have to keep, you don't have to play 5v4 in basketball. In soccer, man, you got to play 10v, 11v10, and it's tough, especially West Ham chasing the game. So it's a little disappointing, to be honest with you. I have to see the challenge, but and you see the League One playoff is going on right now. First leg, Wickham is up 1-0 over Milton Keynes Dons. We didn't really talk about that too much. Got the Copa America matches. I haven't checked. Excuse me. I haven't checked the game from Korea yet. Take a look now. Suwon 1-0. All right, so I'm going to show you the slides for today. We're going to do La Liga, Serie A, League One, Ligue 1. I'm going to talk about the playoff semifinal first leg, the other League one from England, Denmark Superliga Championship playoff, and then the 2 Bundesliga. A couple games here. So, and I left the rugby up right now, so we can look at that again. There's obviously the matches start tonight and go all weekend. So nice day out here. So we'll start with La Liga. Now, these are all Friday matches. Remember, we're always a day ahead here. If you tuned in today to the Formula One show, you'll know that we're talking about the Friday practice and then some of the Saturday qualification and the Sunday race. Here we're always a day ahead because we're in the middle of these games here, so I like to give you a little bit of a heads up. So Levante plus 205 versus Real Sociedad plus 130, draw plus 245. 3 o'clock tomorrow. Over 2.5 goals is minus 120. Under is minus 105. Sociedad's in 6th place. Right now they're in the Europa Conference League spot, but they can move into 5th, the Europa League spot, with a victory ahead of Real Betis, who plays this weekend. Levante is last in the league right now, minus 24 goal difference, 6 points behind Cadiz with 4 matches to go. A loss probably means they're relegated. To be honest, anything less than a win here for Levante at home probably means they're going to go down. 5 points to make up in 3 games. Before the other team even plays this weekend is probably going to be tough. I think when you look at this, there's some interesting plays here. I'm going to give you a little bit of a different way to play this. When you look at the pull these odds up here. They don't score a lot of goals. Over 2.5 minus 120. Sociedad doesn't score a lot of goals. Levante gives some up, but Sociedad's goal difference is just +1 right now, so they don't score a lot. I have a couple interesting things here. If you think Sociedad here, who's fighting, obviously, and it's going to be a pretty close game, I think that it might be worth it to take a chance on the 1-0 right here. 1-0 is +750. If you think Sociedad is going to score over 1.5 goals, you can go +115. So basically, if you think Sociedad is going to win the game, you can either go, you could take a chance at 1-0 at +750, or you could say, you know what, I'm going to say Sociedad's going to score over 1.5 goals at +115. I think Sociedad scores in this game. Obviously, the goal difference for Levante isn't very good. 1-1 is +550, so that's another way to do it. But I think Sociedad wins, so you get the money line there as well. Money line at +130, so you can go Sociedad +130 money line, Sociedad over 1.5 goals at +115, or Sociedad 1-0 if you think it's going to be really low scoring close game at +750. Just a couple different ways you could bet that game. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, and ringing the bell every day. Keep watching this. We're going to keep adding shows. We're just a few weeks into this new channel here, so we're going to keep adding shows. Obviously, for me, maybe a weekend show for soccer would be pretty cool. But we got the horse racing show coming up, and tomorrow night, and the Formula One show today, so that was pretty cool. By the way, we have the Kentucky Derby betting guide worth $39.99, yours free. It's going to be get the inside track to the Kentucky Derby, prepared by the racing dudes and winners and whiners to be the most comprehensive, in-depth betting guide available for the biggest day in racing, which is Saturday, by the way, 2 days from now, Kentucky Derby Day. You can get the guide up now. Just get up there and get it if you can. Make sure you're doing that. So, all right. So, I think if you like Sociedad here, once again, multiple ways you can play it. All right. I'm going to move to Serie A here, and there's 2 matches on Friday. One is at 12:45, and one is at 3 p.m. Inter is -715 versus Empoli. +1600. Draw is +800. It's 12:45 game. Inter's 2 points back. But if they win, once again, here we are. If they win, they can go top of the table with a victory and put a little pressure on AC Milan. Empoli is safe in 13th, don't have a lot to play for. Inter has a plus 45 goal difference. Empoli's minus 19. I got those googly eyes there. You see that's 64 goals apart. Inter over 2.5 goals is a whopping minus 205, which is, man, 2.5 goals, minus 205. They're basically saying it's a given Inter's going to score 3 goals. Over 3.5 is plus 133 there. Foxy, I had Rangers to win. Borre goal anytime for Frankfurt. Just need Vardy goal. Both English teams looking bad at the moment. Yeah, maybe we were a little bit. Maybe the Premier League is a little bit fraudulent after yesterday. Another Pep collapse. West Ham today is, once again we talk about that. It's a little bit embarrassing. I can't imagine Eintracht Frankfurt is probably just going to pass the ball around. I'm not really watching that game. I would expect the next goal to come in either the Rangers-Leipzig game or the Marseille-Feyenoord game. Marseille needs a goal, and Leipzig needs a goal. And Nkunku is obviously the main guy there for Leipzig and going to be the target. But, Rangers know that as well. And now they got all those guys behind the ball, so it could be interesting. This Inter game over. Yeah, look, there's a reason that these teams. There's a reason that it's the same teams, I feel like, all the time going into, obviously the Europa League and the Europa Conference League is different, but you see the teams here, they're big teams. It's look, Liverpool and Real Madrid and City, the City curse strikes again. But these teams, West Ham, they're just not. I don't know if he's just not used to playing in it. They're tired, but it's just you can't do that. You cannot get you're chasing the game. You can't get sent off in the 19th minute. You just can't. You kill the tie. The tie is over at that point. It doesn't matter. Like, as soon as Frankfurt scores there 7 minutes later and it's 3-1, you're not coming back. It's over. You see Declan Rice getting a card 45 plus 3 there right before halftime. You just can't do it. And these guys aren't used to playing at these games. Real Madrid has so many players that are used to playing at this level. I mean, so does City in that game. But, Roma, a lot of guys used to playing at that level. Leicester's, in a final last year. So they are used to playing in a final. RB Leipzig has been really good for a long time. Rangers obviously always in finals. Marseille second in the league, and Feyenoord as well. So I'm just, when you see stuff like this, yesterday it was City and Liverpool almost getting before they turned it on at halftime. Maybe the Premier League's a little bit down. Maybe it's just it is a 2-horse race and everybody else stinks. I know Chelsea's pretty good as well too. So, but maybe the rest of the league stinks. I don't know. I saw a tweet today from an Arsenal fan saying Arsenal will be in one of the next 3 Champions League finals. They said maybe that they're targeting the Wembley one, or he would be at one. Maybe he just meant he was going to be at it watching in the crowd. They're not getting, if Manchester City can't win a title in this thing, no Arsenal is definitely not. There's no chance. So, just one more thing here. The over 3.5 for the game is minus 139. So I guess they're expecting Empoli to score here, even with that goal difference. Both teams to score, yes, is plus minus 108. No is minus 122. So a couple of ways you can bet that. I think, let me get you the Asian handicap on that game, or maybe just the regular handicap. Inter is minus 2.5. There's minus 103. Minus 2.25 is minus 125, 129, something like that. Could maybe go with that. This is a lot of goals to lay, but Inter could really just lay into them this game. The second game in Serie A tomorrow is Genoa plus 320 versus Juventus minus 109. Draw plus 245 at 3 o'clock. The over 2.5 is plus 102. Under 2.5 is minus 125. Juventus has clinched a top 4 Champions League spot. They're in the Champions League next year and can move into third with a win. Genoa is 19th and 4 points behind Salernitana, 17th, and Genoa is in danger of relegation. Juve has won 6 in a row versus Genoa. Has 10-1-1 in the last 12. Juve's won 5 of the last 6 has been over in that, by the way, 2.5 in those. And 5 of the last 6, both teams have scored. Genoa is 9 of 10 under 2.5. They don't score a lot of goals. 4 goals since February 19th. And 6 without a clean sheet against Juve. Juve scores against them all the time. When you see this line, Juve minus 109, even though Juve wants to finish third. They want to finish ahead of Napoli. So they're going to play hard. They still, they're coming on. They want to get some momentum going into the summer. And you see these numbers here. I know Genoa has to win, but, they don't keep clean sheets. Juve dominates them all the time. And, I could see maybe Juve 1-0, 2-0 here. But, at minus 109, and maybe even as it gets close to the game, maybe you can find it at minus 105. That definitely could be worth a play. Foxy, the game was done and dusted. Look, if, I don't know why you take off De Bruyne, but if Grealish scores, it was an unbelievable play for Mendy to clear the ball off the line. And really, Foden should have probably followed it up. It was a little bit unlucky, though. It could have bounced in off him. But, he has a habit of doing this. Miguel Delaney, I saw, wrote a story, in the last 11 times that Pep has been knocked out of games, his teams give up multiple goals in short periods of time. Yesterday it was 2 goals in 2 minutes, but really when you go to extra time, the penalty happened 2.5 minutes into extra time. So it was really 3 goals in like 7 minutes. It wasn't 7 minutes of time elapsed in, real time, but it was 7 minutes of time actually on the pitch. And that's just, I think sometimes they lose their head. I really am interested. I once again, I have this, let me just take a look at these futures. I have a future on Liverpool's minus 200, by the way, and Real Madrid is plus 160 to win that. I have a future on Liverpool at plus 275 or plus 300 to win the Premier League. Manchester City's minus 240. Does City collapse here after that? After another, the only reason Pep was brought in is to win that trophy. They keep buying players. They're going to go out and spend them, $300 million on Haaland and all these guys. Now they have a striker. Now there's nothing to blame. Now that they just. But does Liverpool sneak back in now, or do they have an eye on the final? Do they not? Liverpool obviously probably still in 4 competitions. They got the FA Cup final next weekend, next Saturday. Liverpool Chelsea. Liverpool will be a heavy favorite in that game as well. But does City win the title? Does City win that title? Does Chelsea win the FA Cup? Does Real Madrid win the Champions League? And does Liverpool win the Carabao Cup? That's, for me, would be like the ultimate scenario. I don't want Liverpool winning another trophy. I want Real Madrid to win as because I have them in the futures and also, Liverpool. Yeah, it's a good question, Foxy. I don't know why they take him off. I think he overthinks stuff too, a lot of times, and I think that's a problem. And I think sometimes, they last night, if I was betting that, if I was at home in Pennsylvania and I was betting, like, I probably would have cashed that out. I just didn't, I would have said, you know what, it's 1-0. I'm going to take City. I already have them. You got them. I had them to go to the final. I had Real Madrid in the final anyway, so I probably would have cashed that out. For this game, though, I'm going to take Juventus -109. If you can get it closer to even money, that's great. That'll help you out. I'm going to go to France now. And this is a really interesting game to me. Friday, 3 o'clock. Leo plus 255. Remember, Leo, Leo's the defending champions of the league. And, just didn't really go to the races this year. When you look at the table right now, they are I believe they're in 10th, 51 points. But, there's some teams ahead of them, Nantes, Lens. In France, when these teams win, when Monaco beat PSG in 2017 because of the brilliance of Kylian Mbappe, and they actually knocked City out, by the way, if you remember that, went to the semifinals. He was sold to PSG. When Lille, Lille sold all their players. They win the title, they sell their players, they make some money to operate, and they go back to the pack. Monaco's -105 here, and a draw is plus 275. Monaco is on fire right now, 7 straight wins, and they're coming like a freight train in this league. Lille's just 1 win in 6. Monaco is currently in a Europa League spot, and the table will show that they're in 4th on goal difference. They have plus 22. Rennes is plus 41, both on 62 points. Marseille has 65. PSG has already won the league. So Monaco, if they win this game, will jump up into 2nd place. I said moves them into a Champions League place. Monaco, if they win, will go ahead of Marseille on goal difference as well. So they will go into 2nd place ahead of that Marseille and Rennes. And Marseille and Rennes play next weekend, which I think is very interesting. Monaco has the easiest schedule of those teams. Marseille and Rennes have to play. I know Monaco plays Lens and Brest later in the final 2 games. So Monaco, if they can win this game here, Monaco could jump all the way from 4th, which is Europa League, all the way into a place where they're qualifying. First 2 in Ligue 1 qualify automatically. 3rd for the Champions League. 3rd place goes to the Champions League playoffs. Huge game. It's at Lille. Tough game. You look at this, though. Monaco has just been really, really good with 6 wins in a row. They beat Angers. They beat Saint Etienne. They beat Nice 1-0. They beat Rennes 3-2, which is a massive, massive win. That actually got them back in it. They beat Troyes. They beat Metz. They also beat, in this runs back, they beat PSG 3-0 right before they got knocked out of the the Europa League by Braga. But they beat PSG, and this team is really hot right now. Still no goals, by the way, in those other games. I really like Monaco in this game. If you're going to give me even money, it's going to make it even better. Foxy, something. There's Real Madrid at the 2nd leg at home for every round in this Champions League. Interesting. And they'll be in Paris for the final. Obviously, the final was supposed to be in St. Petersburg, moved from Russia. We had a lot of fans at that. When I was at the 2019 final in Madrid, and was Tottenham and Liverpool, and there was about 100,000 Liverpool fans, mostly without tickets. So yeah, look, sometimes you get these teams that are just, they're on a mission, like the Blues Brothers or something like this. You're like, man, how did this team stay alive? They're on their like 15th life right now. If they were a cat, they would have been dead 6 lives ago. And they just keep pulling it out and pulling it out. Yesterday was just like, you're watching it and you're like, this is just a team of destiny, So it's going to be interesting. Liverpool clear favorite though. In this game though, remember I like Monaco. All right, this game is going to be. This is interesting game. League One playoff semifinal first. Like the other playoff semifinal is right now, and it was 1-0 to Wickham, and now it is 2-0 to Wickham. And Milton Keynes has a red card. Josh McEachran, I believe he's an American, will sit out the next leg. So Leipzig has scored, and it is Bill, Christopher, and Nkunku. And Nkunku has scored the goal, and now it is tied 2-2. And Nkunku to score the next goal. Bill is rolling in it right now. Big goal right there, 70th minute. And now I think you got to put some money maybe on Leipzig to go and find the winner here, the winner in the tie, to tie the game, make it 2-2. So, Bill, I hope you put that bet down. That was, that's pretty good. I'm sure you got pretty good money on that if you did. So, good to see there. So this playoff semifinal, Sunderland plus 165 versus Sheffield Wednesday plus 165, draw plus 225. Sheffield Wednesday won 3-0 in November at home. Sunderland won 5-0 in December at home. If you ever saw that documentary on Netflix about Sunderland, unbelievable, really, really good. If you have a chance, please go watch it. It's 2 years. The first season is incredible. And the second season was even, it was really good. I thought the first season was really good. Wednesday has only won 9. I said of. It's 8 or 9 of 23 on the road, but they had the league's best record at home. I believe they won 15 of 23 at home. So a draw or win here could be massive. I think Sheffield Wednesday, if they can pull out a win or a draw here at home, I think they have the impetus to go on. And got to be rooting for Sheffield Wednesday because my guy Paul Hurst from the Times in England is a big Wednesday fan. He was in Madrid last night. He covers the 2 Manchester teams, and he's going to be rooting for Wednesday tomorrow. Sunderland was very good at home, though, this year as well. Only, I think, a little bit worse than Sheffield Wednesday was at home. Both teams have scored, yes, minus 115, no, minus 114, which is interesting because the last 3 times these teams have played, it's been a clean sheet for one team or the other. So I think that's interesting. I've seen a lot of predictions here. In these 2-legged ties, you see kind of a cagey affair in the first leg, but there's no away goal or home goal advantage now anymore. There hasn't been in these playoffs anyway. But, could you see a draw? I don't love betting draws sometimes. At plus 225. I think both teams are maybe going to score, which goes against what's happened in the last 3 games. Once again, this is a one-off playoff, 2 games. I think you're going to see, obviously if Sheffield Wednesday scores first, you're going to probably see Sunderland try to come back and try to get back in it. Plus 250. Bill, man, that's a good bet right there. That's awesome, man. I'm happy for you. He's one of these guys. He's got so many goals. He's like Ronaldo or like Salah or like yesterday Benzema. These guys always find a way to score goals when their team needs them. This guy, and Kunku has almost 40 goals this year. I mean, he's scoring about 1 goal a game. They needed him to score, and he found it. And, it'd be interesting to see if he's the guy maybe that scores the next one as well, or even if there is a next goal, or they go to extra time there. But that's a good hit, Bill. And that's why, when you're, I don't know, Bill, if you're watching the game or if you're just kind of, listening to or watching Scorebet or whatever, when you're watching this and you can kind of see which way the play is going, that's always a good thing. So I'm going to go a little off the board here, make my first foray into the Denmark Superliga Championship playoff. Silkeborg minus 135 versus Randers FC plus 325. Draw plus 300. It's at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Silkeborg plus 21 goal difference, third place right now in a Europa Conference League playoff spot. Or actually in a Europa Conference League spot. It's not a playoff spot. Randers has a minus 2 goal difference, 4 points behind Silkeborg. Between the two of these teams, Silkeborg has won 4 of 6, and they won 2-1 on the road about 2 weeks ago at Randers. So that's interesting. Right now, at that minus 135, Silkeborg trying to lock up a European spot here. Silkeborg money line looks pretty good to me. And maybe even Silkeborg halftime, full-time, plus 165. If you think they score early at home and really kind of lock that game up. It's and Kunku, man, I am begging that Manchester United signs this guy. Look, Timo Werner, the first year he came, he was looking like a bust, or the first 6 months or whatever. But now you see him playing. He's adjusting to the speed. He's so fast. Werner's so fast. And Kunku is so talented. It might take him a little while to bet in. And Manchester United fans are not the most patient. But, yeah, look, Bill, I think you maybe take a shot on him scoring here. And, it's interesting now if this game goes to penalties or goes to extra time, who's a little bit tired, who's taking some players off, which is that team that maybe, has the attacking players that can score. Obviously, Leipzig has the attacking players to score there, but also had to take off, Danny Olmo is off right now, and Sobolazi is on. Rangers has already made 3 changes, basically to their front 3 of their front 5. So could be interesting. I like Silkeborg in that game. I don't usually look at that, but they're one of these games sometimes on Fridays when you're looking for extra. I usually go to that Eredivisie for the Netherlands, but those spots are basically locked up. Like the playoff spots are locked up. The teams that are coming up are locked up. So David Moyes sent off. Oh, boy. Oh, man. It's just, they're just falling apart. The thing that's interesting, too, about West Ham is I really wanted West Ham to finish 6th ahead of United. But, West Ham right now is 6 points behind in the league. I mean, game in hand. But I think they play some tough games. I think they have Norwich City, that's not a tough game. Norwich City, although Norwich City could play free now. They got to play Manchester City. That's a loss. And then Brighton and Hove, who knows about that? But, yeah, look, I mean, their season is starting to collapse. So, it's a shame. I would have liked to see them in the final. I do. I like the stadium. I go to some games there. I think it's an interesting stadium. And the other games now in the 80th minute, Marseille still can't find a goal here. And Leicester City running out of gas. I'll tell you what, if Leicester City gets knocked out of this, man, what a bad season it was for them. They could finish in the bottom half. And they're a mess. They have to kind of move on and sell some of these players. They kept some of these players a little bit longer than they had to, and now they're going to have to rebuild. All right. Got a couple of Bundesliga 2 matches that we're going to look at here. Fortuna Dusseldorf plus 215 versus Darmstadt 98 plus 112. Draws plus 265. 12:30 tomorrow. Darmstadt goes top with a win. Now, I see the table here. I just put the top 3. 2 matches left. Schalke 59 points. Darmstadt 57. Werder Bremen 57. These teams aren't lighting the league up, are they? Right? Very competitive. Some of those second division leagues are very competitive. I think you see the same thing in Italy sometimes, and Portugal and France. It's not like England where these teams, obviously they play 46 matches, but the teams that come down from the Premier League, they're still getting that money, so they really usually dominate. Fortuna Dusseldorf is unbeaten in 12, 6 wins, 6 draws, and 5 of their last 6 are over 2.5. Darmstadt 5 of 5 over 2.5. So, for me here, when you see those lines and those numbers, I like Darmstadt a little bit. Go Rangers. What? Wow. Josh Lundstrom. I knew there's going to be another goal. Man. Oh, man. Imagine if Rangers win that and Stevie G's with 18th place or 17th place Aston Villa. Wow. That would be crazy. I can't believe that. This Rangers team just keeps shocking people. So Fortuna Dusseldorf, the over-under in this game, over 2.5 is minus 157. You see that 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 6, sorry. Looks like a lock. I'm going to actually take a chance on Darmstadt over 1.5 goals at minus 115. I think they score 2 goals, and I like them to win the game. Remember, if they win the game, they go top, and they get promoted. Top 2 get promoted. Third place team goes into a playoff with the 18th place team from the Bundesliga. All right. There's another game, SC Paderborn minus 113 versus Sandhausen plus 280, draw plus 270. Paderborn plus 13 goal difference, Sandhausen minus 12. Look, 4 of the last 5 games between these two have been score draws. You look at both teams, the score line, minus 225. That is ridiculous. Obviously, there's going to be goals in this game, or they think they would. Bill, I would take a chance. I don't know what the odds are. There's going to be a fair amount of injury time there. They're going to be pushing some players forward. I would think there's going to be another goal here. I don't know what I'm going to have to look at the formation here, but I would think there's going to be another goal. And that's the only game with goals really right now. Eintracht Frankfurt still up 1-0. West Ham obviously out. Roma 1-0. Marseille still 0-0. Wickham Wanderers ends 2-0. I think maybe take a shot. I don't know if you can get decent odds. You probably get decent odds now because there's only 10, 15 minutes left. For me in this Paderborn game, look, I'm not going to put a big play on it, but to me at minus 113, if you get a minus 110, they're obviously the better team than this Sandhausen team. Neither team is going up or going down. They're playing out the draw. Sometimes those games you play a little bit more freely in those games. But yeah, I think I might take a chance. I just wanted to show you these rugby odds one more time. Obviously took out the Thursday night odds, but remember, I don't know if any of you have done that with the minus, the 3 or 4 teams to put in a plus money parlay, but it definitely would be worth a shot here, I think. All right. Once again, make sure you're following me on Twitter at the Prodigal Sean. If you have any questions about it that I can't answer, Remember, we got the Caesars Sportsbook promotion, $1,100 first bet insurance. ATS wins Caesar, CZR. Links are in the show box below. We got 6 hours of great info. Now it's more because we got the Friday night show. Remember, you got Midday Money, Sean Higgs at noon Eastern, Morning Wood with Ali Burns. And remember, I will be on there on Thursday, probably around 1:30. Just Parlays with Chris King, 2 to 3. Back to the window, Scott and Scott, 3 to 4. Me, 4 o'clock. 5 o'clock game time decisions. Every Thursday at 11 o'clock, we'll have a Formula One show. And every Friday night at 9 o'clock Eastern time, we'll have a horse racing show. And the tomorrow, obviously, is about the Kentucky Derby. And, you got that betting guide worth $39.99, yours free. Get the inside track to the Kentucky Derby. Really cool. Please, if you're a horse racing person, please just go get it. It's really interesting. And Nkunku next goal is plus 750. Oh man, Bill, you're already up right now. So on that game, I might throw a little bit down on that, to be honest. Rangers, they made the final in 2008 when they tore up. I didn't see the Rangers winning in a shutout and the Red Sox losing in a shutout. $5. Yeah, look, Bill, $5. It's definitely worth it. I think there's going to be another goal here at some point. You got to figure they're pushing for it. Maybe the Rangers score because they're pushing for a goal, but I'm going to try to put that on Paramount Plus. See if we can get that on here. But we'll see. I stick with it here. I'm gonna stick with this live. You know what? I'm gonna get this on. I obviously can't show it because all those copyright things. Let's see if we can find this. Maybe the Galazzo show might be the way to go. Oh, what's going on here? Liverpool Champions League, Rangers Europa, and Roma Conference winner. Man, that's not bad. I would be really Eintracht Frankfurt. I tell you, definitely no problem, Bill. Yeah, definitely. It's tough. Sometimes you want to pick these games, but sometimes it's easier to win more money when you're in the game and you're sitting here and you're watching it. And Nkunku scored. It was 2-0 and Nkunku scored to make it 2-1, and then Rangers scored to make it 3-1. So they're up 3-2 on aggregate. But sometimes it's easier to win some money when you're live betting. And it's amazing. I did a story for NG.com and for one of these other sites where, New Jersey's, $1.3 billion they did in April, 1.3 billion gross, right? And like 75% of the betting is like live betting, because these tennis live betting is crazy. Like you can bet on next point, next serve, next thing. I mean, the live betting is so much of the draw now. And obviously basketball and people sometimes will wait, especially in these close games. Maybe you wait to see like what the deal is, and then you can kind of think, like with your Nkunku play, it's obvious, at 2-0, you got to think they're going to score, and who's going to be the guy to score? The guy that's got 40 goals this year. So you can kind of do that. I don't know if Rangers are going to hold on here. Marseille is still 0-0. Roma's still 1-0. The other games, nothing happened. There was the one goal in the two other games. The other goal is 0-0. I'm really disappointed in Marseille. I thought they were going to play. Yeah, no, that's what I said. Gerard left this team. And listen, when he was there last year, this team was a machine. They were winning and they're rolling and rolling and rolling. And, but I will say Van Bronckhorst has done a very good job with them. And look, they don't play in the best league in the world, but they have some pretty good players. The Tavernier is very good. They have some talent, and it's just a matter. You see Leipzig here, most of the possession, but Rangers got 10 behind the ball now. But that's what City was doing yesterday, and still gave up 2 goals in a minute. See if Rangers, there's only 3 minutes of added time. Rangers here. Versus Pagula. Today? When is that? Yeah, Proc, that City game was. I don't know if you're watching. Look, I'm a Manchester United fan, so I had City to win the Champions League, but I also bet Real Madrid to win the Champions League a while ago. Oh, Rangers. Oh, big save, keeps them in it. I have Real Madrid in offside. I have Rangers. Yeah, Ibrox is unbelievable. That final's in Sevilla, and that's going to be Madrid Open. Okay, let me pull that up. I'll pull that up for you. Hold on 1 second. Some of the tennis is interesting because, that's even money right there. Look at that. Plus 100, minus 122. I don't know. Under 2.5 sets. That's interesting. Minus 175. But the line is really close. I would have to look a little closer at that, Darrell, or Daryl, however you just let me know how you pronounce it. I don't know. I don't want to give you the wrong pick there. It's pretty close. So we got the keeper coming up here, and this is it. Which one? The Jill Takeman and Pagula is tennis. Let's see. It's out. Leipzig is out. Rangers have done it. Rangers have done it. Oh, man. That is unbelievable. So we're going to have Eintracht Frankfurt against Rangers. That game's in the 95th minute. Marseille is basically waiting for the whistle to go there. Roma. So we're going to have Feyenoord Roma as one final. and Eintracht Frankfurt, Leipzig as another, and then Real Madrid versus Liverpool. Oh, you could have got a lot of money on that. No, I don't know. It was a corner kick. I just was watching and it became a corner. So, man, that is unbelievable. I think, hey, Bill, if Rangers beat Frankfurt, that'd be really good. That would be a really good game. Two really big fan bases. What I was saying before, like Frankfurt, I saw them play Benfica in Portugal in 2019. We went to Everton Arsenal on Sunday in the Premier League. Tuesday went to Porto Liverpool at Liverpool, sat in the Porto, and Wednesday Manchester United Barcelona, flew to Lisbon, went to Lisbon and Eintracht Frankfurt. Eintracht Frankfurt brought like 40,000 people or something to West Ham, or 20,000. It was crazy. That final will be really good. Rangers will bring a ton of people. Eintracht Frankfurt will be a ton of people. Seville will be a really cool place to watch it. The sun. Spain is a really good place to watch Champions League finals. Obviously, it's sunny. It's really cool. So, yeah, look, I didn't see that. It's amazing. When Nkunku scores there in the 70th minute, you think they're going to probably go on and maybe score the next goal, or it goes to extra time. You just don't think Rangers playing that formation is going to sit back, but they scored, and fair play to them. So these other games are still going. No, full time. So Roma goes through, Feyenoord goes through, final, Rangers and Eintracht Frankfurt. Crazy day of football and soccer. So tomorrow we're going to be here 5 o'clock, and we're going to go over all the games. We're going to have a lot of different games tomorrow, and we'll have Kaepernick on talking about the MLS for the second half of the show. And remember, he was very good last week, won some money with him. So let's see, Penguins and Capitals. Penguins won that 3 overtime game. You think that Rangers will get back into the series, but sometimes those games drag a lot out of you. Penguins at plus 138. That's interesting. Capitals at plus 205. Same thing there. I mean, Washington won game 1. I mean, you think that Florida would probably get back in it. That's why you got, they're so high at minus 265. But, it's almost begging you to take Washington at plus 300 on the regular timeline. You take a chance, and, it's 3-1. See if you can, double down on that game. But, obviously Florida is the best team in the league. In the Eastern, at least, and could be interesting. I do like Colorado tonight, so that could. Yeah, it's the way they won it. Seattle is gonna, I think they have a chance to really make a run here. Obviously, first team in the modern era to win. Let me. I don't know where they are in the standings, but I know they play Sunday, I believe. No, they play Saturday night late in Dallas as a heavy underdog, plus 290. Oof. I mean, I don't know how late they were out drinking last night. It was probably pretty late. So, but sometimes you get that little momentum, and you get that, that thing, and it kind of carries you. So, all right. So I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And ladies as well. I want to say guys and ladies and whoever's watching. I appreciate everybody watching. And we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to have a lot of stuff tomorrow. It might be a longer show tomorrow, so be ready for that.